something is covering your camera, and it makes I don't know if you knew that. It's like making half of your face. I don't know. It's something over your camera, I think. I don't know what it is. Almost. Oh, now you're totally off. There you go. Whatever that was, if you slide it all the way back the other way, I think it might. Hi, everybody. I'm curious, what did Kathy say in the other room? Did she incentivize you guys identifying that you're a data lead? Oh, there you are, Richie. You're back. It's your whole face now.
Awesome. Well, we will get started. Again, this is the data lead kickoff breakout room. So we're going to talk more specifically about what the data role is, what it entails, what the different components of the program are, and then give you an overview of what the timeline is. So the objectives of this breakout session are for you to get to know the Maya data team, for you to understand the components of the data fellowship and the program timeline, to review any document and data needs, and then to discuss any initial next steps and answer any questions that you might have. So first, again, we already introduced ourselves. Marshall, I'm so sorry you're not on the slide. I didn't know you'd be joining this, but Marshall is our kind of like half-time data team member. But we introduced ourselves previously, but just to reiterate, my name's Alex Koltnowski. I'm a senior consultant at Maya. I'm joined by my colleagues Jen and Nafki, and then as well as Marshall. And Marshall will be hopefully joining some of our maybe like our synchronous sessions and providing some expertise along the way. He also has a lot of that background on the program. So any specifics about the program, he'll be able to answer as well.
Well, I might just say, Alex, this is one of the big changes of the program this year, and I'm really excited about it. And I think it's going to be a huge value add to the districts. Every other week, I coach 4 different districts. And every time, the first thing I do, the biggest indicator that I have found, the biggest difference between those that really do accelerate their CCMR bonus and those that do not, is if they can answer this question. Hi, how's it going? How are things? Let's just get a quick update. How many of your kids are TSI ready in ELAR? And if they can tell me, right now we have 32 kids, partial ELAR, 6 kids TSI ready in both, 12 kids TSI ready in math. If they can tell me the kids that are ready or are career ready or have filled out a college application, if they have the data accessible, that's been the biggest indicator of the difference between those that have achieved some real bonus outcome increases and those that have not, is just their ability to know where their kids are. So this I think I'm really excited about this change where you guys are gonna, get support from somebody to help you build those data structures. So I'm really excited about this part of the program.
Yeah, we're really excited to be involved. Thank you for providing that background, Marshall. So as Marshall was kind of explaining, our Maya data team's role is really going to be focusing on building district capacity to track and visualize CCMR data. We don't want to just come in and kind of deliver a product to you that has like, here's your data, a longitudinal analysis. We want to really help coach you so you can be prepared to be creating this data yourself. And because we know that's such a useful tool for the districts. This will be accomplished by facilitating a synchronous webinar, facilitating asynchronous webinars, hosting one-on-one coaching sessions, hosting office hours, and then providing you with resources that support the development of a CCMR data tracking tool and a dashboard. So I'm going to go over a little bit more in detail around what each of these components look like. So in terms of webinars, we're going to have both synchronous and asynchronous sessions. The synchronous session will be held on March 1st, and it's going to focus on tying CCMR and data together by really understanding the CCMR components and best practices for collecting, managing, and documenting data. The 2 asynchronous sessions will be released in April, And the first one will be on April 3rd and the second on April 10th. You don't have to memorize these dates. We'll share them back with you. Just want to give you some kind of understanding of the timeline though. The first session content will focus on data analysis, particularly on historical trend analysis and data cleaning. The second asynchronous session we'll have content that focuses on actually visualizing and disseminating the data, including providing an optional visualization template in terms of a dashboard. The template will draw on several common data sources, and you'll be able to easily accommodate district-specific data sources. We're also going to be hosting monthly office hours. This time we'll really provide you with the opportunity to ask the team any questions and learn from other districts. We host these in the Data Fellows program, and this has been super helpful. It's a really good time to build rapport with the other data leads, get to know one another, and kind of troubleshoot any problems that you're facing together. There will be one office hours each month. So there'll be one hosted in March, April, and May, and they're near the end of the month. So we can kind of reflect on the materials that we covered during that month, any questions we have, and any shared learnings.
And this will allow you to, some people already had spreadsheets and they already have a system. And we didn't want to just say, hey, cool, glad you have a system, but like, we're going to give you a new one. We just didn't think that was, you already are doing great things with tracking, but you had questions about how could I optimize that? Is there a way I could make this easier? Is there a way you had questions? So rather than delivering you what we perceive as a superior template, we rather would say, what do you currently do? And how could we help? What's not working with your current model? What is working? Oh, you don't have a model at all? We do have a template we'd give you, and you can start there. But we really want to be able to meet with you all one-on-one and help you improve, not duplicate the system you already have. So that's the idea of the fellowship, is to really honor, some of our best ideas have come from some of the districts we work with. So we want to make sure we honor how you guys are already collecting data, and then just ask the question, what can we do to help? Can we visualize this? Is this too hard to enter? Can we align IDs? So that's, part of the one-on-one approach here is to honor what you have, and then with each district kind of customize and help you where you want help, rather than bringing you a new thing to do. So that's the goal.
Thanks, Marshall. That's super helpful. You described that beautifully. In case you're wondering kind of how we're timelining this out through the one-on-ones, each of the one-on-one sessions will have specific goals that we'll go through. Again, kind of adjusting for what you need in your district. We have a wide variety of resources that we've developed at Maya to kind of help support and meet you wherever you might be in your comfort in collecting and working with data. So if the idea of a dashboard kind of strikes fear in your heart, don't worry. That's not something that needs to be true. Our goal is to make sure that you can answer that simple question that Marshall asked at the beginning of every program meeting in the fall. So that's really the goal, and these one-on-ones will help us get there. So broadly, our timeline for the next couple months is as follows. We have our kickoff webinar right now, and then we'll start together in a synchronous webinar, really to give us a chance to all get together as a data community before launching into office hours and one-on-one meetings. We want to do our April sessions asynchronously so that they can work wherever fits your schedule best. And we're not trying to get your time every week, but we will have those office hours if you'd like to attend. As Alex mentioned in some of our other work, some of the most valuable times we've had with districts is in those office hours where folks can connect with others in their same role. And then those one-on-one meetings will kind of ramp up in May as we work towards finalizing your system or honing it for the fall. So to get us started, we'll need a couple of key things from you. The first is that data sharing agreement, which we need in place to protect students' data and make sure that we're sharing information appropriately. So all of the information about that will come in a follow-up email. And then once we have that data sharing agreement set up, we'll be setting up secure FTP sites so that we can get from y'all your CCMI verifier, not the tracker, the CCMI verifier, as well as on the next slide, the CTE concentrators and completers file. So again, you all get an email with more information on how to pull these and where to put them. But the key thing is that we need to have that data sharing agreement complete before y'all can share these files with us, and we can kind of get cranking on some of the other pieces. So in terms of
that timeline, by the way, we used to not start, this was beautifully planned, right? As a previous principal, I should have known better. In the past, right in the summer, kind of when PD's all getting planned, the data team would like ask you for all these files, and we would take the files and then we would do a historical analysis. Now we're starting on, like you guys are starting earlier than any cohort has ever started, so that you can spend the spring collecting data, learning what files are out there, learning how to look at yourself critically and figure out where you're performing well and where you can focus your efforts. And you can do all that before the summer hits, so that you don't get mixed up in all that mess or have to do things at the launch of the school season. So you guys are way ahead of the ball this year, and hopefully that'll make things easier come summer break and fall kickoff.
And since this is the first time we're doing this specific, excuse my scratchy voice, this specific cohort with TIN, please do let us know also if something's not useful or if you're confused in something. Be completely honest with us and let us know. We really value your feedback so we can make sure that we're providing you with the exact support that you need. That is our goal at the end of the day, and the thing that makes us most content in our work. So please make sure that if there's something we could be doing better or differently, please let us know. So in terms of next steps, the TIN Brill CCMR team will reach out with the data sharing agreement and create that SFTP site once the DSA is signed, and then you all will sign that DSA and then upload those files, ideally by the March 1st synchronous session dates.
And if you're not sure what a DSA is, it's just, you really probably want to have your legal even look at it. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of elements with FERPA. And so we at Maya hold really high standards around how we handle student identified data. And this is just the agreement that we all make to make sure that we're being really careful and safe and secure with all your data. So in case you were wondering what that was.
All right, I think Josh flashed that we have to go back in a couple minutes. But are there any kind of preliminary burning questions right now?
I do have a question. So I'm new to like the CCMR stuff, and I don't have access to Teal. However, I know that they've shared with us like CCMR verifier data at the beginning of the year. Are you asking for the current CCMR verifier data, or do we need, or is there like, is it constantly updated, or how what document necessarily would you need?
That's a really good question. And it just makes me so happy. Like, these are the reasons it's so hard to find your data. This is why it's so difficult to analyze or like look at your own results, because all of this is so confusing sometimes. And for us, like, but we can help answer those questions. The verifier is primarily used historically. It doesn't give you real-time data. So we try to find the verifier as recent as it has been updated through your system. And we're looking historically at how you've performed to try to figure out where you're just doing great and where are some areas that you could improve, or what limiting factors might be keeping your bonus from being what you thought it might be. So that's a great question. It is a historical file. And then the other thing is, that's part of this whole fellowship, is like walking with you through that whole process of where to get the file, what years is it, what file format is it in, all the things, Vanessa, that you know well. That'll be part of that process.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Part of the challenge is, in the past, we would give these historical analyses, but they'd be 2 years away. And so it wasn't us, it was another partner. But the partner would say, here's who you are. And the district would say, yeah, that was 2 years ago. Like, we totally have changed how we do FAFSA. So now we're trying to put you at the forefront of the analysis. So like, it's more real time and relevant to you, which is, I'm excited to work through. What else? Any other questions? This first webinar. Got to get through a couple of our bi-weekly meetings. We'll get everybody ramped up. I think for the good of the group, if there are no other questions, I think we're all, I don't know if they're going to close. There we go. They may close the session.